I may, Your Honor, one way to look at this is we're not talking in this case about records that are buried in a warehouse like the Lost Ark in Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're talking about fundamental files dealing with fatalities and near-fatalities. The state is obliged under federal law to keep those records, to maintain them, to keep track of them, to make information available from those. And yet, what we've gotten are what we perceive to be efforts to discourage us from proceeding and to make the cost of proceeding with this public records case far more difficult than it should be.
It's not the bill that we are sending. This is an estimate. And yes, it may take more time. It may also take considerably less time. But it is purely an estimate. And the vast majority of the time that we are proposing in our estimate is on the review and redaction of what Your Honor has characterized today as highly sensitive and confidential information. Information which the federal government says we're to keep confidential, information which the state legislature says we're to keep confidential. The Tennesseans owned by Gannett, which had made a lot of money last year, made a lot of money this year so far. These are not private citizens making this request. What they're doing, though, is asking this court to waive the fees simply based upon equity and require the taxpayers of this state to provide, to pay for the production of these records. Now,
understanding is that the burden of the redaction falls on the state, and there will be no fees assessed for the time or labor involved in redaction. However, to the extent that the Tennessean wants copies, it is obligated to pay for them at a reasonable rate, and the court finds that to be 50 cents a page. Now, 50 cents a page.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, their policy says 15 cents.
That's all right. I'm making it 50 cents a page, so I'm going to see what's going to happen. I understand that there's some expense in pulling all these together. I am not waiving a fee. If this was an individual who came and asked me for these records, I would treat them the same as these petitioners. That's what the Open Records Act requires. The 50 cents per page would also be imposed on that individual. I understand that there are 205 files that have been identified. There are 7 forms that are being requested. I have used that 7, not because I'm granting their request for all 7 forms, but as a method of calculating costs. So I took 7 forms times the 205 files times 4 pages in each of these forms. I don't know if you'll get 4 pages with each form or not, but that's the best average that I can come up with having looked at the files before. It may be a little high. It may be just 1 page. That's 8,540 pages times 50 cents is $4,270. Now,